Small business is about courage, risk-taking, independence, and we small business owners are survivors. Everybody has an idea for a business, but how do you take that idea from mind to market? This is the place to learn.
Small Business School.
It's a new kind of school. Together we'll learn about business from the inside out, from the people who've done it. We'll meet the men and women who are today's pioneers and quiet heroes. Their lives are the textbooks. Our classroom is the world.
Small Business School is made possible by support from the United States Postal Service, delivering the promise to America's 23 million small and growing businesses. There's no wait at the post office in your own office. USPS.com is waiting for you. And by Microsoft.
We see you building a new company from an old company. We see a business full of potential. We're inspired to create software that helps you reach it.
Hi, I'm Hattie Bryant. If you've watched Small Business School before, you know we're all about how to start, run, and grow a business. In fact, our mission statement is learn today, earn tomorrow, return forever. If you take time to learn, you increase your power to earn. Today you'll meet Mike Neary, founder and owner of Oregon Log Homes. Also, our marketing advisor will tell us why it is important to set aside a certain percentage of our revenue for the sales and marketing efforts and why selling is such a mysterious process. We call what you're now going to experience a master class. This is not a traditional class taught by a teacher. This is an opportunity for you to be with a master small business owner. Teachers teach classes. Working artists present a master class. No gurus, no academics, no journalists allowed in the master class. Come with me now to Sisters, Oregon to meet a master small business owner, inventor, artist, craftsman, and visionary. What is this mystique that a lot of us have about logs and living in a log house?
It's just, well, it's just the most comfortable feeling in the world to be in a log home.
26 years ago, Mike Neary dropped out of college because he was too busy skiing and teaching skiing on Mount Hood in Oregon. He built his first log home illegally on National Forest Service property.
One room, or? Yeah, it was a 20 by 20 cabin, had a cute little loft, and it had a little sunken fireplace area and a little fireplace in it.
And a little bathroom, little kitchen.
Well, no bathroom. The bathroom was actually behind the trees outside because we had no plumbing. It was, remember, this was on Forest Service land, not mine at the time.
And no television, huh?
No TV. No.
Because there was no power.
There was no power, no.
So this is a contrast to what we're going to see later today.
Oh, totally, yes, this total contrast. In fact, I wouldn't mind living in that again. I would love to have that little cabin. There was a petition by the little town of Rhododendron, which is on Mount Hood. Everybody just loved this little cabin. It was really cute.
Yours.
We weren't hurting anyone, yes. But you know, the Forest Service felt, well, if we let these guys do it, everybody's going to do it. We're going to have a community in here. It doesn't work. So they made me tear it down. But the forester, the ranger at the time, gave me, I said, well, I want to build another home. I've designed this house, this log house, and I want to build another one. And I need some logs. And he said, well, let's work it out. So for $130, he gave me enough logs out of the Mount Hood watershed, which is a lock gate. They didn't usually let you log in there, to build that second house.
Mike has built hundreds of log homes since. With 60 employees and $4 million in annual sales, he is a leader in this industry. Jeff Patterson, Mike's head of customer service, tells me,
I think one of Mike's greatest assets, he's been willing to change, evolve, learn, get better as the technology increases, as the building practices change. Our industry has evolved, and Mike's business has gone right hand in hand with it.
And so it's fun for you to be in a scenario that is on that front edge.
Oh, cutting edge, absolutely. I'll give you an example. We had at a local, actually a West Coast log home show, we had other builders coming up and say, we know Oregon Log Homes is the best in the industry. How would you do this? And we're standing in front of our competitors and potential clients.
We put out terrific craftsmanship out here. The guys in the yard do good craftsmanship. And I think we've expanded into a higher end market, so we're not doing log cabins anymore. We're doing large log homes.
Every home is first put together on the lot in Sisters, Oregon. You are right now building a house that you will tear down.
And we're building the roof system on the deck next to it. What we're building out here on this deck is the roof system for this house next to us.
Mike's son Chris has learned the art of hand peeling. And how long have you been doing this?
Since the beginning of summer, since school got out.
Did somebody have to teach you?
There's a couple other people out here, and they taught me.
So do you think you want to peel logs for a long time?
No, this kind of motivates me to go to college.
Logs are then notched and fitted together. Every log is numbered just like puzzle pieces, disassembled and shipped to a site for final construction. What is the square footage of this house going to be when it's finished?
This is around 3,200 square foot.
Is it going to be 2 floors or just one?
This will be 2-story. This is the loft above here.
And then the loft will have a couple bedrooms up there?
Right, 2 bedrooms and a bath.
You are going to completely assemble all the log parts, and then you take it apart,
Right.
put it on a truck, and it goes to the site and has to be reassembled.
Right.
Now, when it gets to the site, do your people reassemble it, or do people out on the site do that?
Occasionally we'll reassemble it, or we'll send a technical assistant along to help the owner put it together.
You don't
It's
want
gotta make it-
strangers cutting on your logs.
No, we try to eliminate that.
Oregon Log Homes will build whatever the customers want, and because of their notoriety, they deal with many large, complex, expensive projects. They are currently working on a home which sits on Lake Tahoe. Randy has built this model to demonstrate solutions he has developed to solve a problem.
One of the themes as far as logs in this entire house is that logs never end. They just keep on continuing. For instance, this is a rim log here. This is the same diameter as this. This log continues up and over.
He will videotape the model with 3 different options, then send the tape to the architects in San Francisco. The model will be sent to the construction foreman at the site. Randy estimates the finished cost of this home will be about $18 million. There's really more to this than meets the eye originally when you first look at it, right?
It's been a great project.
The people who live in log
tend to
homes
be
say there's nothing like it.
As you can see, they're beautiful. They just lend themselves to a very natural setting, and people appreciate that now. I live inside a piece of art. I truly do.
Every business has its own language.
This is a chink style building. It's actually called a full scribe, where we scribe the log. This is a spline where a 2x will go into. This is a check. We primarily use dead standing timber. From the tree drying out internally, this check is created. And once that happens, the sawmills can't use that. You can imagine if you cut a 2x4 out of that it would fall apart. The growth of this company has been steady but slow. One thing we've always tried to do are in-house sales. We've always tried to do in-house marketing. So we've never had a good firm come in and do these things that would have really probably boosted us above that level sooner. And we went on reputation only for a lot of years.
Well, you must have, but let's talk about that. You must have wanted it that way.
You know, it just never seemed like we had enough money to really go out and find a good marketing firm to do the marketing for us.
John Wargo suggests that Mike could have grown quicker with a stronger marketing effort. Should we set aside a certain percentage of our gross sales for marketing and sales efforts?
That probably is the most difficult question any business has. And the answer is yes. You should set aside a percentage. And it should be as much as you can afford, not as little as you can get away with. For example, a lot of businesses will put their money into the physical goods of the product. Then they'll build the infrastructure and the administration, and then try to cut back on the marketing expense. Big mistake. Because you bought the goods to be sold. Most small businesses succeed because they sell.
We shouldn't be afraid to say for every dollar I'm going to spend 20 cents on marketing and sales.
I don't believe you should be afraid, and I think you should continue to test and continue to add money to your selling budget to see if you're getting more than $1 back. Just watch it. When you get less than $1 back for $1, then start cutting back. Don't predetermine you're going to try to get away with just a couple bucks, because your competitor will clean your clock.
Mike told me the most important business decision he made was moving the business to this busy highway which runs between Bend and Sisters. Showing people what he does has helped him solve the mystery of selling.
They saw the work going on in progress.
Okay, so that was a good decision to get visible.
That was probably the best decision as far as the company growth.
And isn't that a marketing suggestion? Isn't that something any small business owner should listen carefully?
Oh, sure. Without a doubt, the exposure. You need the exposure.
People have to know what you're doing, see you.
Right. That's right.
And you didn't put up a billboard.
No.
You put yourself out there.
Yeah, we put it's interesting. This is an interesting business, and people always have been interested in seeing these log homes go together, so the traction was there.
Don't you think it's a romantic business?
Oh, I think it is, yeah.
I mean, as opposed to other things,
It really is, and it's fun to go back to the homes after they're totally finished and talk to the people, and they're in love with them, and you don't see them come up for sale a lot. They keep them.
I mean, so many small business owners who say, I don't like selling, it's hard for me, I don't understand it. Why is selling so mysterious?
Selling is really mysterious because most people think what they would do. And they can't imagine why other people aren't doing what they do. Selling is totally different. You have to think about what other people do. It's empathy. It's understanding your customer, not understanding yourself. Once you start to understand your customer, selling becomes easy and less mysterious. It's only mysterious because you don't know how to tell all these other people why they should buy something you like. It's what they like.
But how do we deal with the fact that the pet rock was a bestseller? I mean, how did that capture the imaginations of millions of people when they sent away for a rock?
They didn't send away for a rock. They only got a rock. They sent away for something unique that they thought was different, and they cashed in on a fad. So who bought the rock? The people that like to be in on a fad. So what you have to look at is not what people bought, but why they bought and what they did with it. Nobody bought a rock and put it away. They bought the rock to show their friends, hey, I'm trendy. I'm out front.
I do the sales on generally.
Today, Mike has a sales and customer service team. In fact, both Jeff and Ted ran their own businesses, but now work for Mike.
This is my first job I've had in 30 years, and you would think it would really be difficult, but I'm probably working as hard as I ever had, just because of the environment. If you talk to Jeff, he operates here with all the freedom that his talents allow him, so you would think you were talking to the owner.
One good decision you said you made was to locate your business on the highway where we were, and I think we're sitting in your next brilliant decision.
As it turned out, it was a good decision, and it's something that was fun to do. So,
all right, tell me about how you building this house for you to live in impacted your business.
It basically gave us a model that we could show. We could show some of the ideas that we had that we were never able to sell to a customer. Well, at the time, we hadn't done a lot of character logs in a house, similar to this one, with the lightning strike in it or a knot, to see the indented knot there. When they see it, they like it. Every 5 years, National Home Builders puts on a contest, which we entered. We were given a form, we entered that, and they looked at pictures of the homes. The home came out and looked at the home. We sent them a blueprint, the floor layout, and it was... One day we got a card in the mail say that we had won an award, and they wouldn't tell us which award or what we had won. Well, as it ended up, it was the National Home Builders Best in American Living Award. So we went to Las Vegas to receive that award, and it was incredible. When we went, we were sitting at a table, and they were showing these homes that had won on this gigantic screen, and when they showed, there was a fairly good reaction from the crowd on the stick-built homes. But when they showed this home, it was everybody just went, it was just this big awe, and it's just like, it just melted in the chair. And from that time on, once that we had won that award, our business just catapulted.
What do you think you were doing better or more uniquely or in a different way from your competitors?
Well, one of the things that they liked is when they'd ask us, can you do this? We'd say, yes, we can do that. And then, of course, we had to scramble and figure out how the heck to do it. So, but we have an incredible crew in Millcraft at our other operation. When we'd give them a challenge, they would have it figured out.
So even if you've never done something before, if you have a customer who says, can you give us bent rails, you say yes.
Yeah.
And then you go figure it out.
We try to figure it out later.
What I think that you can teach all small business owners from that exact moment is that when we listen to our customers and we are positive and optimistic and say yes, that almost forces us into a new way of doing.
Because first we had to figure out how to build it. The architects did a beautiful job of making it look real pretty. Well, we had to figure out how it was going to work. So our drafting department and our project managers did that, and so that it was difficult in that we had to stay ahead of the game. There was a time limit on this. It had to be done at a certain time.
Mike just said it's okay to tell a customer yes, even if you've never done it before, and even if at the time you say yes, you're not quite sure how you're going to do it. Let's try to understand why Mike, who seems smart and thoughtful, would give us advice that may on the surface seem foolish. After 20 years of building log homes, Mike got an opportunity, along with 3 other builders, to work on the Wilderness Lodge at Disney World. Now, here's what happened. Those 4 builders were offered the opportunity to work on just 10% of the project. During that work, the Disney architects would often ask, can you do something? And Mike would jump in and say, of course we can do it. In fact, they asked him, can you bend logs? He said, sure, hung up the phone and said, well, we've never done this before. But they built a steam room. They figured they needed to soak the logs, steam them, bend them, and they were successful. They shipped the bent logs. Everybody was happy. And because of his attitude, he believes, that's why he won the other 90% of the contract. What is Mike saying? If you're going to build your business, when you're approached with a problem, you must be confident, not only just in yourself, but in your people and their ability to deliver on the promise. This is a mindset. You approach a problem not with doubt, but with boldness. We see this over and over again. Small business owners must be willing to take calculated risks. I call it preparation, racing to meet opportunity.
At smallbusinessschool.org, there is self-help study for people who want to start a business and for those who want to grow the business they have. To learn more about this episode, choose the overview. You can read every word you're hearing today when you choose the transcript and go deeper with the case study. There's streaming video and access to interactive study guides throughout the site.
When we moved to the location we're at now, which is on the highway, we started to experience some growth and found out that, gosh, we need some more people, mainly in the office. You know, we were always trying to do most of the work ourselves, so we started adding people. When we got the award for this home, we added more people, and which was good. I mean, that's the point where we hired people that were heavily qualified. Up to that point, it was always a little scary to bring someone in. You kind of have that sense of, well, I don't want to bring him in. He might be overqualified for this business. Well, that's not the case. The higher quality of people you bring in, the faster your business is going to grow.
So do you think you would have grown faster had you done 10 years ago what you did just 5 years ago, which is bring people like Jeff in?
I think we would have, yes. I think definitely now I totally rely on the employees that we have in that company. I am not a businessman. I grew up cutting logs, and so I'm a builder. So to get into the business end of it, the entrepreneurial end was very difficult for me, because when I would look out in the yard, I'd say, boy, they should be doing faster. They should be going quicker. I think the main thing I've learned is that you have to let your employees, if you're making money and your business is doing well, they're doing something right, leave them alone. And that was the hardest lesson I think I've ever had.
Because they can never do it as fast as...
Never. It never works.
But on the other hand...
I would do it different, but...
Yeah, if you've grown up in it, and there are two kinds of small business owners. There are the folks who have done all the different pieces of the task and they know how to do everything. Then there's the other type who are strictly business folks who don't know the stages or the crafts steps. So you're a person who's done it all. Do you think that has helped you manage folks because you know their job and you understand it and you've done those jobs before?
Yeah, in some ways that's a benefit, and in other ways that's not a benefit, because you like I say, you do think that there's a better way to do it and you could do it better, but you just can't manage all those departments, and you just got to let them do it. And actually, I've found out that 99% of the time they're right, and my way of doing it would probably not be the way to do it.
What do you think you've done wrong? Do you think there are mistakes? You said, oh, geez, why did I do that? Can you look back and say, that was a mistake?
I think the biggest mistake was not, that I've had, is not dealing out job descriptions quick enough. Okay, this is your job, you do this. This is your job, you do this. It's like, well, you guys know what you're supposed to be doing. I don't have to tell you, and that's not true. You have to make people comfortable in their jobs, and the only way to do that is to give them a job description, and so they know every day when they come in what they're supposed to be doing.
Mike has invented a machine that allows them to build log homes faster, therefore cheaper. The hope for the future is to grow the lower cost end of the business.
They're more cost effective than what the handcrafted is, plus the time frame is reduced tremendously. For example, a handcrafted house may take us anywhere from 8 to 16 weeks to pre-build. We can cut a milled log home in a matter of sometimes days, sometimes weeks.
Whereas you have your houses all over the world and all over the country, but here you are in Sisters.
Right.
What is that teaching us all?
Well, that was kind of a hurdle for a while, because we were the only log home company out here for a long time. There's a conglomerate of them in Montana. They all seem to get going there and congregate in this one little area. So when a client thought of a log home, they thought of Montana. So that was a hurdle to overcome. But now with the new technology and the fast pace and computers, we're able to be anywhere and be found out about.
Every serious business today has a web presence. At OregonLogHomes.com, you can read about the history of the company and the staff. You can see examples of past work, and my favorite part is the time Mike takes on the website to teach. From the navigation bar on the bottom of every page, you can choose walling styles, for example. On this page, Mike gives you a close-up sketch and describes the difference between handcrafted saddle notch techniques and the machine-milled styles. You can also see how logs can be used as accents, as some people don't want an entire home made out of logs. You can have log staircases, log fireplace mantels, log stair rails, log trusses, and maybe anything you can imagine made out of logs. I also like the section on the web that teaches the visitor how to get started designing a log home. Small business owners like Mike are using the web in ways that save the shopper and company staff time. Anything we can do to save time and reduce hassle for customers is worth doing. Add pages to your site that will allow the customer to learn on their own schedule. They'll be more informed and easier to sell when they pick up the phone to call you. For 16 years, you really had to struggle because no bank would have anything to do with you, and you had to self-finance.
That's right, yeah. The banks didn't want to talk to you until you were successful, when it was extremely difficult to be successful when you had no money to do it. So everything we did was out of pocket, and there was some real lean years there.
Why didn't you quit?
Just couldn't imagine doing anything else.
Mike and his team are not building houses. They are helping people make their dreams come true. Do you ever have people come to you with a little cocktail napkin and say, oh, can you build this house? Does that ever happen?
Oh, yeah. In fact, today, We got a paper plate house. This is somebody's heart right here. This is their dream home.
And they wrote, how much?
How much?
So you've got to do a bid.
Oh, sure.
Or proposal.
And we will respond to this. Absolutely. It's great. We love it when people do this. It's wonderful. This makes life fun for us, when we can take somebody's paper plate and we end up with a beautiful artistic creation for them.
To build your business, when you're approached with a problem, you must be confident, not only just in yourself, but in your people and their ability to deliver on a promise. I'll see you next time.
Small Business School is made possible by support from the United States Postal Service, delivering the promise to America's 23 million small and growing businesses. There's no wait at the post office in your own office. USPS.com is waiting for you. And by Microsoft.
We see you building a new company from an old company. We see a business full of potential. We're inspired to create software that helps you reach it.
If you want to learn more about starting, running, and growing a business, come to our website, smallbusinessschool.org. There's streaming video and interactive study guides. The only way we can compete with big business is to be faster, smarter, and better. We are the engine of the American economy. We create the jobs. Small business is about big commitment. It's about sacrifice and struggle. But we do it because we say, if I don't do this, my life won't be complete.